The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
"'Tis some visitor,"
I muttered,
"tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more."
Ah, distinctly I remembered it was a bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden of the angel's name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating.
"'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. That this it is, and nothing more."
Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer.
"Sir,"
I said,
or "Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you."
Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering long, I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was a whispered word,
Lenore.
This I whispered, and an echoed murmured back, and the word,
Lenore.
merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard it tapping, somewhat louder than before.
"Surely,
Said I,
surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then the threat is in this mysterious explore. Let my heart be still a moment in this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more."
Open here I flung the shutter, and then with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped
Get up here. Come on.
a stately raven of saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon the busted palace just above my chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore.
"Though thy chest be shorn and shaven, thou
I said,
art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore? Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore."
Quoth the raven,
Nevermore.
Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast above the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as
Nevermore.
But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul and that one word did he outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he had fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered,
"Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before."
Then the bird said,
Nevermore.
startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken,
"Doubtless,
said I,
what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hopes that melancholy burden bore of never, never more."
But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy untoned fancy thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking.
Nevermore.
This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushioned velvet lining that the lamp light gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with this lamp light gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then, methought, the air grew denser, perfume from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor.
Wretch,
I cried.
thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he had sent thee, respite the nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore.
Quoth the raven,
Nevermore.
Prophet,
said I.
thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest lost, or tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm of Gilead? Tell me, I implore.
Quoth the raven,
Nevermore.
Prophet,
said I.
thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that blessed above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within this distant Aden it shall clasp by sainted maiden, whom the angel named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels named Lenore?
Quoth the raven.
Nevermore.
Be that word or sign of parting bird or fiend,
I shrieked upstarting.
get thee back into the tempest and the nice Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak out from my heart and take thy form from off my door.
Quoth the raven.
Nevermore.
And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all seeming of a demon that is dreaming. And the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.